And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Talking fundamentals in a market and direction. Fundamentals take a little bit of time to play out.
We got crude oil today, kind of trading yesterday's value area really nicely, low to high.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Market Recap. I'm John Hoagland. Thanks again for trusting me with your time. Well, the markets sure took their sweet time getting into gear this afternoon, but at least they did. The crude oil kind of took a look down below that weekly kickoff low, but rejects and now remains range-bound for the time being. The E-mini S&Ps and the NASDAQ shorts squeezed yet again. The S&Ps went right up to that spike base, bounced around, and then fell into value from Friday. So the NASDAQ was stronger most of the day. There's, again, a lot of shorts getting squeezed. Gold was pretty much a dead cat bounce. We're going to see that shortly. The 6E, the euro, no gap close, showing some degree of acceptance below weekly kickoff low, which has remained that low for 2 weeks. The 10-year, last week's high, kind of caps off a little bit of short covering for us in the 10-year. The natural gas acceptance of value area creates an upside move. Still no real change in market state in the short time frame there. We're going to see all this very shortly on the charts. Today, Monday, April the 25th, all the news, everything is about Twitter accepting Elon Musk's offer. He's going to buy out all the stocks for $54.20 a share. The stock currently up about 6%, trading just around $52 last I looked. Anything else in the news? Twitter, Musk, Twitter, Musk, Twitter, Musk. One other thing, Powerball is up to $421 million. You talk about some good risk reward on that. You can spend $2, and if you get the right numbers, $421 million. Then you can trade from your yacht. Doesn't that sound like fun? All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Scott Saw, and hopefully you conquered. You are the first one in the room this afternoon. You win the prize. Tachyon, hello. James Swan. Chopped up. One of those days, man. We all, I think, come into these days with big expectations for big moves. VIX is against us. Okay, we got VIX higher, up around 30. Everybody's thinking it's going to be this big day, and it doesn't happen until late. A lot of range-bound activity in the equities, mostly in the S&Ps, until later on in the session when things changed. Hopefully, you'll have a better day tomorrow. It's James, and unfortunately, I think there's a lot of folks who do reset their combines more than once in a day, and it's not what we want. We don't want that. We want to, see change. We want to see success. We don't want to see people resetting their combines often. So James, better day tomorrow, hopefully. Vince, it was a wild ride this afternoon. You and I were chatting, and it was a pretty big move. Some pretty big moves at the end of the day. Bill, good afternoon. Dan Emmons talking about kind of an incredible day. We were in the group coaching session today, and everybody was like, "How do we know that it's going to be range bound?" And there were some pretty good indications, but nothing is finite. Anything can happen. ACH. That's our acronym here on the market forecast and the market recap, and we got to be ready for it. When things change, things change. The S&Ps went right up to the base of that late spike. There was a really good shorting opportunity off of that. But if you fell in love, that profit went away. And once we accepted back inside value from Friday, the value area special situation took over and sucked that price up even higher. We're gonna have a late spike to the upside tomorrow after opening today with a late spike to the downside. Flip a coin, ladies and gentlemen. One retest of opening range high, and boom. Yeah, the morning call for a test of 41.95 zone found responsive buyers and never looked back. Yeah, we just end up keep getting too short. That's what the S&Ps do. Dan with an idea for James. Musk's a Twitter. Yep. Vince. Full 100 points off that 41.95er. Yeah, there were some pretty decent opportunities today. One thing for ES price right back to where it was at 245 on Friday. All that movement came right back to the prior market on close levels. Unbelievable, right? James, I'm taming my impulsive side, and it's just taking more time and effort than anticipated, and that's so hard to do because we all have that little voice in the back of our head that says, but what if? But what if I could have not listened to that what if, I'd probably be a much more well-off person. Why don't we jump into the charts and let's see what we've got going on, what we were looking at this morning, and how things played out for us this afternoon. So this is the daily in crude. We were hearing some fundamental changes is in low demand from China, but it doesn't change the fact that we're still in a technical pattern that we remain in still. We'd had overall opening interest falling, added some open interest to the downside on Friday, and we've tested down to weekly kickoff level and through closer to our trend line down here. But this whole area in here is kind of a hot zone. I think we're going to be seeing fish there for the next few times if we get the opportunity to see price at that level. Here's the 30. Yeah. Good afternoon, Nick. It's good to see you. Yeah, Dan is everywhere, isn't he? It is a lifelong process, James. Absolutely. Still working on it myself. So here's the 30. The market opens with a big gap. We never do close the gap. We take a look down below weekly kickoff low. We reject. Upon that rejection, looks like long was the way to go. Still no gap close. Still dealing with probably a little bit of last week's low as potential resistance. We do have a lot of economic data coming out Tuesday, and then Wednesday, of course, the EIA petroleum status release. Here's the S&Ps. Big down days, lots of open interest coming in. Got us a little bit too short in the hole here. This trend line was a pretty decent opportunity for us. Didn't get a chance to see the weekly kickoff low here just yet. Just kind of pointing out we were getting pretty close to March's lows, 20%. February's low right here, 40.94, 41.29.50, March's low, and we're on an inside month. Okay, here's March's high, here's March's low. April's been an inside month. We've been one time framing lower on the weekly charts, but we're in an inside day in the longer time frame of the monthly chart. So every time we get down here and it starts to look cheap, we can still continue to see buyers coming in to recover this market. Here's the 30. Even more important, I'd like you to check out the TPO charts, but we'll take a look here. We opened with a gap. We drove away from the gap. We put in a low. Lots of folks thinking, man, this thing's going to go to zero. Lots of folks thinking we were going to check those important levels down below March low, February low, and the 20%. No. Put in the low, we turn around, the market comes back up. If you can see right here on this bar, I know it's kind of hard. This bar takes us right to the base of the late spike, and then we get a really decent push off that level. We have a really nice trade off that, and it happened really quick too. So we're looking at, what is it, 73 down to 45. So, I mean, almost a 30-point move off that base of the late spike. Again, if we fell in love with it, we ran into trouble. Then we get into the acceptance of value in the TPO chart. So here's our base of the late spike. Price comes right up to it, comes up with a decent opportunity to the downside, and then we get to above that level right here. Here's value low in TPO. The moment we started to find some acceptance there, the moment the L period closed inside value, game was on to the upside then, and we get a continuation to the upside here. It's very similar in the NASDAQ, just a lot higher. Take a look at the 30 here in the NASDAQ. Okay, we opened with a gap. We closed the gap really early. We started coming back into range, back into value, basically kind of taking us to kind of a low volume node here in Friday's session. We didn't quite get to the point of control, TPO point of control, but I believe we got to the TPO point of control. And gold, boy, what a dead fish it was for us in regular trading hour session today. This whole move happened in the overnight, and then it just sat here and ranged. It was not a lot of good opportunity here. Probably a very difficult and very choppy day for those of you trading gold today. Hopefully you were very, very patient, waited for the initial balance to establish itself, and then tried to focus on the extremes of that initial balance. For the euro. So finally, after 2 weeks of testing down to this level, this weekly kickoff level, we get an acceptance and a move down below. Volume, suspect. It'd be interesting to see the open interest tomorrow. So here's our push to the downside in the overnight. Right before the open, we get the test back right to weekly kickoff low, and we just kind of drifted to the downside. Not a big range today, not real emotional or volatile, and then really we just died. We just didn't really do much the rest of the session. Look at the 10-year. So, this market has come a long way in a short period of time. It's a long way to go and a short time to get there. We're always looking for opportunities to sell strength in a market like this. Obviously, we know rates are going higher. This morning, we had some risk-off attitude as far as stocks are concerned. It makes sense we got a nice pullback to the upside here, right to last week's high. There it is. We got the gap, no gap close. We go in the direction of the gap, unable to accept above last week's high, and off to the downside. I'm going to go out on a limb. The volume was okay. I'm going to say we're going to lose open interest today in the 10-year. I think we're going to see a short covering, profit-taking day today, and that's going to take some buying power away from the marketplace. We know rates are going higher. The question is, where's the good trade location for the shorts? And back to the nat gas. So an early test of weekly kickoff low. We know we have an engulfing pattern. We know we have a an island top here. Does today change market state? No, it's still one time framing lower. We've got lower highs, we've got lower lows. Maybe a little bit of short covering off those highs. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see as far as open interest is concerned tomorrow. But we've got, let's see here, 11 o'clock. Okay. So, technically, I think this market closes at 130. This spike to the upside happens after the close, but it's got pretty decent volume. So we have to do a little research and see if we've got an opportunity for us to see if this is going to be impactful for us tomorrow. In essence, the market opened below value. The market sat inside value, marking acceptance by the end of the session. Typically, we're going to see a move to the other extreme of value, which is about what we saw. Salt Bones. Good to see you, my friend. Hope things are going well. So it's only Monday, and I feel like I've run through most of the human emotions today. We've been range bound, we've been directional, we've been quiet, we've been busy, and it's only Monday. Just aren't we so lucky that we have the I will Salt Bones. Aren't we so lucky that we have the opportunity to do this every week? I know it's nice to have a weekend, and it's always nice to get back down to business. So, well, we know what happened today in history. Elon Musk bought Twitter. Really nice to have $54 billion laying around. Other information, other things that happened on this day, and I remember this. On April 25th, 1983, Soviet leader Yuri Andropov, I used to call him Shrivel Up Andropov, wrote a letter to a U.S. fifth grader, Samantha Smith. Samantha asked if she wanted to have a nuclear war, and he sent back actually a nice letter. He just wanted us to live in peace, to trade and cooperate with all our neighbors on the globe, no matter how close or far they are, and certainly with such a great country as the United States of America. That was his answer. Kind of positive, right? 1974, the NFL adopts overtime for regular season games. 1950, Chuck Cooper becomes the first African American selected in the NBA draft. 2014, the Flint water crisis begins, and I don't know that it's even ended. 1990, the Hubble Space Telescope placed in orbit on this date. On this date in 1859, ground is broken for the Suez Canal. 1947, on this date, President Truman inaugurates the White House bowling alley. We all need that. And in music, guess whose birthday it is today? The Queen of Scat, Ella Fitzgerald, was born on this day in 1918. She passed away in 96 at the age of 79. Elvis Presley had a 4-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with Stuck on You. 1970, the Jackson 5 started a 2-week run at number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with ABC. Today is Stu Cook's birthday, born in 1945. He's the bassist for a little band called Creedence Clearwater Revival. 1979, the Police made their debut on BBC TV's Tops of the Pops performing Roxanne. Uh, 1994, the Eagles played the first of two shows where they recorded their Hell Freezes Over album. Apparently, they were never going to get back together. And that's about it for now. Always interesting. Okay. Huh. What's up, LT? Join the Discord. Biggest day of the year. Followed your plan. Nice. Almost didn't take that last position. Had to convince myself to trade the plan. Is there such a thing of there is such a thing of having too much profit in one day? It creates a different kind of fear, and you're absolutely right about that. We see funded traders, including ourselves, after having a really big winning day, we tend to have some really bad days. So just take it easy tomorrow, LT. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me see if I got any other notes here. Nope, I think we're in good shape. It's my pleasure, Vince. Ryan, the forecast doesn't bring as many people as the forecast. Although the forecast is, we usually have 100, 130 people watching it in real time, and more people watch it throughout the day. Any suggestions on bringing more viewers? I think the content is good, and like Vince, they certainly seem to appreciate it. And Ryan, I got 6 markets that I'm trying to do the research for this. Kyle Green, but overtraded. Hope all is well. So Ryan, thanks for the suggestion. Thanks for the feedback. And if I get some more time, maybe we can add that. But we will see what we can do. So tomorrow is Make Hope Money. Ryan, you can come and make choices on making trades for me. Here's the link to sign up if you'd like. It's tomorrow right after the forecast at about 8:20. We're going to get into a Zoom room and see if you guys can make me some money. And then Wednesday, no recap, but we are going to be having Top Step Trading Hour. A bunch of traders, including myself, answering your questions. Look forward to seeing you there. Have a good one, LT. Deanna, no, I won't stop. Nope. Thank you very much. All right. I'm gonna let everybody get down to doing their homework for tomorrow. Should be another interesting trading day. I'm going to get some rest and finish up my day here. And I might throw a couple of shrimp on the Barbie tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But blessings to you all. Not making money for Hogue. The money's for Lacey. She's laying on my feet looking at me. She says, I like that LT guy. Get a good rest. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. Keep praying for peace. And I'll see you tomorrow. Oops. See you in the morning. Have a good night.